Hi, this is Simon Leon from simonleon.com, and welcome back to my live show about absolutely nothing. Well, not exactly nothing, because for today, we actually have a little bit of a story that we want to continue on from our live show since yesterday. And that's really everything that I was able to learn throughout not just the last 14 days, not the last 14 days, but of course, the 14 days of the Groovathon, where I was on live every single day, as well as yesterday being on live for a little bit over an hour, despite not having anything planned. And so I think for all of us who are watching right now, maybe you have an interest in eventually doing your own live shows. Maybe you have an interest in becoming a YouTuber. Maybe you have some other interest in doing some kind of videos with or without showing your face. But regardless of the case, I want to make sure that all of you are prepared, learn from what I learned, learn from my mistakes, and also just take everything as an experience to see whether or not this is something that you may be able to do yourself, or perhaps learn along the way as well. Now, it looks like cool. We have a few people who are already joining us live. Remember, all of these are very spontaneous, which means that they're not pre-planned. I usually have no idea what I want to talk about, and also they're unannounced. So whoever shows up, shows up. If somehow you missed it, unfortunately, we won't be able to interact live. However, it would still be very cool for you to catch the replays, and then maybe at another time in a different time zone, perhaps we may be able to catch each other live. Yesterday, I believe I went live at around 2 or 3 p.m. at my time in Southeast Asia, here in Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken. And now it's 8:49 p.m. So again, I can be just going on at any time, sometimes in the middle of the night, sometimes in the morning, sometimes at midnight, or whenever. So if we have the fate, right? As I said yesterday on my show, 缘分, right? If we have the destiny, we're destined to actually meet up in this live show, I'm sure we will catch each other. So far, we have a few people that I want to say hi to because you actually said hi to me. So these are some of the comments. Of course, we want to make this as interactive as possible. Yesterday, I intended to go live for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. It ended up being over an hour just because of a lot of it has to do with the interaction being involved. So I very much appreciate you being a part of this. I have no idea where this is going to go or lead, but at the end of the day, I do want to make sure that we all have a good time, that you get something out of it, and maybe I'll be able to help answer any questions that you may have as well. Jessica from Australia says hi. Hello back. Sarah, nice to see you again in the house. Yes, definitely. Now you can't go to bed. Where are you, Sarah? So that I know what time it is, where you're at, and maybe in the future, if I can. Obviously, we cannot accommodate every single person, but of course, we want to make sure that as much as possible, we can accommodate those of you who are here. Li Yan says, hi, we were supposed to meet up in KL. That never happened, unfortunately, but I'm sure there will be additional opportunities in the future. Kesh also says, hi, you are all over the place, my man. I think last time that we spoke, you were living in Malaysia. I think you probably moved back to Australia or something like that by now, right? So definitely good to see you here to join us. Oh, looks like both Jessica as well as Sarah are both in Sydney. So if you haven't connected, make sure that you do. I'm sure you have, because we're all a part of the Groove family as well. So maybe our paths have crossed, but just so that you know, of course, this is very important for us to know. We want to make sure that that you're all connected, especially if you're in the same city. Yes, Lian says that she's in Malaysia. I know you're in KL. We were supposed to meet up. I think it was several months ago, but then all of these things happened. And I think that the day that we were supposed to meet up, you got a fever or something and you got sick. And so unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to meet up at that point in time. But yes, definitely soon, right? As soon as the CMCO is over, hopefully things will be able to get back to as close to normal as possible and be able to connect with each and every single one of you. Hello, good day, sir. Good to see you. We have MC YouTube also saying hello. Prakash saying hi from YouTube as well. So good. Awesome to see each and every single one of you. So for those of you who are just joining us, basically, I am starting this kind of new live streaming thing. Previously, I've been doing live events, no problem. But for me, naturally, as an introvert, speaking in front of a camera with nobody else in the room facing four walls is something that is very foreign to me. Okay, so that was something that I kind of avoided doing just because I was not comfortable doing it. But again, just as a part of Groove and the Groovathon that happened for 14 days straight, that actually gave me the opportunity to push me past that comfort zone and to actually go live. And now you say, hey, why don't you do something and talk for an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, a full day? I would probably say no problem, because at that time I was actually hosting what we called Groove at Night, and it would be very typical for me to be in front of this camera anywhere between 4 hours to 8 hours. I've gone as long as more than 12 hours in front of the camera. And so when you do that for several days straight, you get a little bit more comfortable. You're a little bit more okay doing something like that. And so I think now it's time for us to not only adapt to the new normal, but get comfortable with the uncomfortable, push ourselves past our limits on what we feel like we should be able to do, want to do, need to do, or whatnot, and just, do what we can to spread as much value as possible. And what I learned over those 14 days is that because I was able to push myself through all those things, obviously I cannot remember everything that I shared. I cannot remember all of the guests or whatnot, but just talking to literally dozens and dozens of people, I learned that many people were able to get a lot of value out of the sessions. And so I didn't want it to end with the Groovathon. I didn't want it to end with Groove at Nights. I want this to continue as much as possible. But as we all know, we're entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a family and I have different things that I also want to do in my business, in my free time, with my hobbies. During the day, maybe I want to go out and do some, shopping, or go for groceries, or just go take my family out to eat or whatever else. So I don't really like to be on a schedule, so to speak. And that's why for the time being, we're just simply going to do a lot of these live events through live streaming, just kind of at any time. And if we have the opportunity to meet live, then of course we have the opportunity to do so as well. Okay, this is my sister. She's saying yellow sek fan, yellow tai, which means that she is eating and watching at the same time. Make sure that you are eating properly. 唔好近親啊，知唔知啊？小心啲食嘢啊！如果唔係，有啲人就會好傷心㗎啦。Okay, so just a little PSA for my sister David Kavanaugh, my good buddy from Thailand. Obviously, we are now in lockdown. We've been in touch for the past several days. Even after the Groovathon, we have many cool things that we have in store for you. I was on the call with David's cool students yesterday over Zoom, and we're going to be doing a lot more cool things together as well. So if you can, reach out to Mr. David Kavanaugh. He's saying, what a good man. You're awesome, Simon, and you are awesome as well, Mr. David. Okay, Sarah, right? Another Groove at Night shout outs. Janice, we just became friends on Facebook, I believe, yesterday, right? And so obviously this was a great introduction into our friendship. And she's saying, hi, Simon, great to be here for your live stream. I believe it's doing wonders for your introvertness. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I have no idea. But just to let you know, I've been, on the public stages all across the world for the past 15 or so years. That actually has been able to help me kind of explore a different side of myself, to learn new skills. And that just goes to show, where you can take yourself if you're willing to go outside of your comfort zone, to push yourself through that comfort level and just do what you've been telling yourself that you cannot do all this time, what even other people may have been telling you that you can't do all this time. And of course, if you have those people who are telling you that you cannot do this or you cannot do that, find new friends, right? Get new mentors. Find people who tell you that you can do it, to encourage you to, right? Because this is extremely important for the rest of us. Janice says, I am Cantonese, understood everything you said. Very good. Very good. 太好了, right? Lian says, LOL. She says, you are good with languages, brother. Thank you very much, sister. 还好啦, okay la, as we like to say here in Malaysia, right? All right, so try to move on a little bit into the topic of the day. Like I said, this is exactly why a 5-minute live stream went to over an hour yesterday, because I love the interaction. You know, I love it when you guys are commenting, letting me know that you're actually watching. It's not like Zoom. You know, Zoom, you can actually see the people. You can say, hey, how are you doing? Are you doing fine? You know, give me a thumbs up, right? Or if you want to learn something, give me 2 thumbs up or blink twice or something like that, right? And you can actually see all the people who are actually talking to you. But unfortunately, with something like this, I cannot see anything except for the chat, okay? So if you would be so kind as to interact with me in the live chat, it would be super totally awesome to let me know that I am not talking to myself, which is extremely important, because as an introvert, we don't like to talk anyway. And if we have to talk to ourselves, that's just wasted energy for us. All right, so very cool. Now, the reason why we decided that we're going to go live again today is, first of all, I wanted to make sure that everything that I learned yesterday was very fresh in my mind, you know, and I'm going to talk about some things that will be uncomfortable. I will talk about some things that might be a little bit awkward, but more importantly, I think that as entrepreneurs, as businessmen and women, as anybody who may have a goal eventually to express value and to share wisdom of any kind in any way, these are all things that we need to know, okay? So first and foremost, let's talk about technology itself. Yesterday, I mentioned that when I first wanted to go live, I was going to start off with this system called Restream, right? And yesterday I shared with you, if you wanted to go live as well, you can obviously go to simonleon.com/Restream, try out for free. And even when you sign up for an account, you will still get a $10 credit just for signing up. My intention is that today I wanted to use yet another platform. But after testing it for a period of several hours, I actually realized that even though we have a full account for that particular system, it wasn't necessarily suitable for what we wanted to do. Number one, it was more inclined for doing shows as live, which means not live, right? You have a video that you've already done, and then you upload it into their system, and then they play it as if it's live. Nothing wrong with that particular system, right? Nothing wrong with that process. In fact, I know a lot of people, my close personal friends, who are able to do that. And especially if they're a one-person team, it frees them up to do many other things, like interacting in the chats and fixing any of the problems that might come up on a technical level, right? On the other hand, if one of my priorities is to interact with you, right? Then obviously I cannot say, hey, so-and-so, thanks for saying hi, answering questions in real time or anything like that, right? So I decided against using that particular platform. Plus, we weren't able to see the live feed. We weren't able to see the live chat. And there were just a lot of different things that were not necessarily suitable. And so for now, I came back on live again using Restream so that I could use some of the things that I found to be useful yesterday, okay? And so for that, I'm able to, check around, highlight, different things that I can show on the screen, as you can see right now. Also, when we are chatting, for example, right? Hi, bro, I can actually click on the comments and it suddenly shows up, okay? Arjun, he's also asking, please give tips for development of my YouTube channel. We will definitely go through YouTube video marketing, money-making tricks and tips in the sometime, some way in the duration of this live show, right? Because obviously we want to make sure that a lot of you can get as much value as you can, but at the same time, I don't want to keep you for too long. I don't want to talk about just about everything there is, because, our time is limited. And so I want to make sure that for today, we keep on topic as well. Jessica is saying, I understood your Cantonese too. First time I've heard you speak Cantonese. Well, you can hear it many more times. if you want to. Janice says, rest read seems pretty good. Thank you. Janice says, oops, I meant Laos. I guess that's pertaining to Chinese. Oh, here's the message that you must have been talking about, Janice. Yep. Got to at the Laos if you live in Malaysia. I'm from KL. Very cool. But Laos is actually a part of, China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Chinese and Cantonese as well. It's just that it's more adapted into the English language when it comes to speaking it in Malaysia and Singapore. All right, so continuing on with what we want to share with you today on live streams, right? On the topic of live streams, technology, right? The different platforms that you choose would definitely be very important. Do you want to live stream on YouTube? Do you want to live stream on your Facebook personal profile? Do you want to live stream on your Facebook page or within your groups, right? Instagram, LinkedIn, these two platforms ideally would also be very good for you to simulcast or multicast or multi-stream, whatever you want to call it. Basically, simultaneously broadcasting all at the same time, right? With a tool like Restream, with a tool like StreamYard, which we used a couple of weeks ago on the Groovathon, right? You're able to multicast in that sense. However, for LinkedIn, what I learned is that you cannot just go into LinkedIn and go live. In fact, you have to apply for the privilege, for the rights to be able to live stream on that platform. Okay, so I applied yesterday and it said, oh, because we have so many people who are applying, it's gonna take maybe up to 6 weeks or whatever. Okay lah, right? Whatever. If it lets me live stream, I'll live stream there as well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Instagram is the exact same thing. In fact, for Instagram, according to their terms and conditions, they actually do not allow you to use a third-party software to live stream. So if you are following me on Instagram or if you're on my LinkedIn, you will realize that this is not going live on either of those platforms right now, because of the system limitations. Okay, so whatever platform that you choose, if LinkedIn and Instagram are both also very important to you, make sure that you have a platform that, number one, is congruent, right? It's suitable, it adapts, and you are able to use that platform. Or you also need to make sure that you have the capability to live stream with those particular platforms in the first place. Okay, so knowing which platform is the most important to you, definitely very, very important. I'm just looking down at my notes. As we continue, right, you will continue to learn new things. I've been learning so many new things. In fact, earlier today, I was on Restream for maybe about 3 or 4 hours with my friend Jerry Chen, whom you might remember if you attended the Groovathon last week. He came on for a few sessions talking about search engine optimization. He talked about multi-level marketing. He talked about 2-tier affiliate programs. And there's so much more that he has to share. And so we decided that we might actually want to do some shows together, which is very exciting. And so with that, we came onto this platform and we discovered many new things that we did not previously know before, okay? And so a lot of things, whether it's suitable for what we do or not, that's one thing. Does it mean that we need to find another platform that could be more suitable for what we need? All those things are things that we will need to continue to explore and find out and learn more about, okay? So regardless, if you're using this Restream or StreamYard or another multicast, multi-stream, simulcast, whatever type of platform, you need to test all of them out and see which one is the most suitable for you, as well as what you need. And by the way, the platform that I was talking about earlier, which normally, like I said, is only good for the restreaming, right, of pre-recorded content and do it as live. Restream, you're actually able to do that as well, okay? So that's the other benefit of using Restream. In fact, I think it was probably a week ago now when I talked to my good friend Ernesto Verdugo. He has a really cool show with another good friend of mine, Dave Crane, who lives in Dubai. They have a show called Toilet Paper Diaries. And they revealed that on the show, they actually do not do it live. They use a combination of different software programs, including Restream, where they actually pre-record the entire thing, edited it, and made it look as if it's live, uploaded it onto Restream, and then broadcast it as if it's live. That's why anytime I watch it and I leave a message, they're able to respond almost instantaneously. And I'm watching them on the screen and they're talking, right? They're not even typing down. They're not looking at the keyboard. They're not typing. They're not doing any of that. They're talking, they're interacting, they're doing interviews. And yet I'm getting those responses in the comments right away. So one of the tools that they use is this one, okay? It's called Restream. And of course, you can find that out at simonleon.com/Restream. And speaking of technical errors, I was just on Facebook Messenger with somebody who watched my show from yesterday, and he was saying that, hey, you know what? I clicked on your link inside of Facebook, inside of the video, and the Facebook redirect actually doesn't work, okay? Number one, I have no control over that. Number two, is probably something that Facebook did. So if for whatever reason you go to any one of my videos or my posts and you see something that has a link on it, you click on it and it doesn't work, for example, right? Maybe you see one of my videos or one of my posts where I talk about simonleon.com/groovathon, right? And it doesn't work. What you can do is you can just copy and paste into your browser, or you can just type it out in your browser. Maybe when you're clicking it through Facebook or another platform such as YouTube or something, just an example, maybe it won't work, right? But after talking to that guy, I think his name was Max, for a little bit longer, he said, well, actually, mine doesn't have any problems, right? I'm using this particular system. I'm using this particular tool. Maybe you should take a look into it, right? So that's something new that I learned today. At first, when I thought that there was nothing that I can do about it, in fact, maybe there could be something that I can do about it. I just need to explore it a little bit more, okay? So never let your ego or your know-it-all attitude ever stand in the way of you thinking that, oh, I think I know what the problem is. I think there's nothing I can do about it, and just leave the problem lying there, right? We want to, of course, as entrepreneurs, figure out as much in terms of solutions as possible so that we can solve these problems as much as we can, okay? From which country? From Hong Kong originally, like my sister, originally from Hong Kong, grew up in the US, and now I am in Malaysia. Hello, hello. Hey, I know you. Jessica says, very exciting. You and Jerry Chen coming together to do test on Restream. Yes, absolutely. Sarah says, yes, Facebook is blocking it now recently. So that's very good to know. Apparently, from what I heard, there is a solution. So let's go ahead and explore. I will definitely share right here on this show whenever I can find out if there are definitely any type of solutions. Harsh. That's a very harsh name. Tricks on YouTube earning, right? Definitely something that we plan on doing in the future. Forgive me if I am not so good at pronouncing names. I'll just call you Mr. I'm assuming that Mr. or Mrs. Life. Okay. Hello, host. Hello, viewer. Okay. So very cool to see you, Adeline. Good to see you back again. She says, hello, boss. Hello, lady boss to you. All right. So going back into our plan for today, right, in terms of going live, continuing to learn, continue to explore all the different types of technology, even if we find something that evidently works for us, we definitely still need to do our due diligence to make sure that it works for what we want to do. If, again, you want to interact, it is extremely important that we have something like this where I can, click on one of you, right? Topic of the yay, and assuming that I can pronounce your name like Sarah, right? Then I can interact with you. We can have a conversation, and you can go ahead and respond back with whatever you want, and so we can have a conversation that way, okay? Which actually takes me as a very good segue into my next topic, because here's the thing, right? When you're on your own, like how I am right now, I don't have a co-host. I don't have a moderator. I don't have an entire team like sometimes I did a couple of weeks ago at the Groovathon, where we had people in the background who were my backup. If in fact, if let's say I lose my electricity, my Wi-Fi goes down, everything goes dark, for even a split second, right? What you're gonna see on your screen is that everything will just go dark, right? You will see me disappear, boom, right? Like magic, poof, right? Like the magic dragon. I would just disappear. And there is nothing to let you know that, oh, something is happening, I'll be right back or whatever. You will just see a blank screen, right? And on the live show a couple of weeks ago, of course, over a 2-week period, that actually happened a number of times. And I also had to jump in a number of times as backup. And that's why, if I were lucky, people like David Kavanaugh, whom you might have heard from earlier in the comments, as well as guys like Jerry, right? Or Asher, or Varushka, also from Australia, they would sometimes be my backup. And so if anything went wrong, they would just jump right in and say, oops, looks like we just lost them for a split second. Let's go ahead and see what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes while we wait for him to come back, blah, blah, blah. At least we still have something going on, right? If in fact you're just on your own, like what I am right now, there are many things that can go wrong. There are many things that I might also want to continue to deal with. For example, I have nobody who is going to help me to highlight, right? And tell me that this Jan Phil Brit's life says, call me Jingo. So now I can call her Jingo, right? I actually have to look down at the comment. I have to click it myself and I have to interact, right? Harsh says TikTok video, YouTube, working now. I don't know if that's a question or not, but I'm sure there are a lot of TikTok videos. Or if I want to, highlight a caption like that, right? And have my name there again, right? Usually we will have somebody doing it for me. But now, because I'm here all on my own, I cannot basically focus on too many things at the same time. So you'll see me getting distracted. You'll see me looking around at different monitors, at different things that might be going on. So a lot of things can go wrong during a live stream, especially when you're on your own. And as I was saying, especially because I am encouraging interaction. I really have no idea who's watching. I have no idea who's going to leave a message. I have no idea what people are going to say. Okay, so very lucky for me, I suppose yesterday, there was somebody who was actually leaving a whole bunch of different comments. And in fact, there were a few people who were leaving different comments that I didn't necessarily go through all of them because there were so many comments that were coming in. Some of them were in Chinese, and just so that you know, I am pretty banana, which means yellow on the outside, white on the inside. My Chinese is very bad. There were some words that I didn't really understand or couldn't recognize right away as things were scrolling through, and so I kind of just skipped around it. Later on, upon closer inspection, what I realized is that it was a hater, right? It was a troll. It was somebody with a very negative mindset who was leaving very negative messages and comments on the actual stream, which leads me to my point, right? When you are on live, again, you have absolutely no control who is watching you, right? People are gonna hate you. People who don't like you will see you. You will get that angry emoticon, right? That emoji, that reaction that you have on Facebook, right? They'll do cuss words at you, or they'll throw in different things and accuse you of different things that maybe you did or did not do, right? And here's one thing that you should understand about me. Yesterday, I told you I'm going to be as transparent with you as possible. If things go wrong, if things happen like this, I'm not going to hide behind a computer. I'm not going to say, oh, that person, I didn't understand them. They were talking smack. I dodged the bullet. And we're just going to try and make sure that doesn't happen ever again. No, I'm going to tell you that this actually happened. And just like many of the other people who say bad things about me, who try and ruin my reputation, and there are certain cases, which I'll talk more about in just a moment, where people are actually trying to take me down for no other reason other than, I don't know, jealousy, other than maybe they didn't think that they were treated fairly as a student, as a partner, or whatever else, okay? But I'll let you know, it doesn't excuse you to fall below what I consider to be a decent human being. It doesn't give you an excuse to go beyond what other people would do to treat people with respect, to treat people nicely, to actually be able to communicate as adults in a genuine manner, to be able to resolve problems the mature way, right? And so these kinds of people, what do? They go here, they leave comments, and they say things like, here's the thing, right? It's in Chinese, and so I'll translate. Oh, and the reason why, again, I'm not showing you this right now is just like other people, as I was saying, I get lots of my train of thoughts go a million miles an hour, right? Because again, there's so many things going on, but good thing I just remembered. The reason why I'm not showing you the actual comments itself is not because I don't want to show you. Actually, I'll read it to you and I'll tell you what they say. But the reason why I'm not showing them to you is because just like the other person who illegally defamed me, right? Even though they're criminals, even though they're bad people, even though they broke the law in an interest to try and take me down, I will not scoop myself down to their level, which means that I still protect their identity. I'm not one for saying, an eye for an eye. They tried to take me down. They were not successful, but it doesn't mean that I should try and take them down. It doesn't mean that I should try and ruin their reputation, right? And give them a bad name. That's just not the kind of person that I am, okay? I don't know if you see that as an opportunity to now, okay, I can attack this guy and he's not going to do anything. That's not true, right? Because I will still, if I need to, go to the courts. I will go to the lawyer. I've done that, okay? And we do everything the right way. We do everything the respectable way, okay? So that's, if nothing else, out of this lesson of this live session that you learned today, at the very least, learn to respect one another. Okay, so what did this person say, right? In Chinese, 真的那么厉害？为什么你的 view 和 subscribers 也那么少？ Which means if you are so good at what you do, how come your views and your subscribers are so low, right? First of all, I was not talking about YouTube. I was not talking about videos. I was not talking about video marketing. Right? So number one, obviously this person was not paying attention whatsoever to what I was saying. Number two, right? Number two, I explained live yesterday, right? For my main channel, in fact, the one that shows my face, right, is actually not the one that makes me money. It's the channel that I neglected for 15 years. That's why you don't see more than a few thousand subscribers, which, by the way, for many people, if you try and do YouTube right now, good luck getting started and getting a few thousand subscribers, right? My goal was never to get subscribers for that channel. My goal was never to get views. My goal wasn't even to make money on that channel, right? It was just for sharing purposes. I explained that yesterday. I explained that apparently if this person is a student of mine, as she claims to be, right? Then I also explained that not only in my preview classes, I explained that in my 2-day classes, I also explained that in my subsequent lifetime support in all of my groups and everything like that, okay? So that's number two. Apparently, they don't listen. They also say things like, one view, as in I only got one view for that particular video. Again, wrong. Right? I didn't just get one view. In fact, I just checked my restream analytics. Within the first hour, I had over 1,000 views already across multiple platforms, okay? Notwithstanding, not my point. I'm not trying to brag or anything. It's nothing to brag about. In fact, it wasn't even a topic of discussion, how many people I can get onto my live streams, right? It doesn't matter. But the fact that this person is saying only one view, obviously, again, proves that this person is not paying attention, okay? And of course, with everything else that's combined, I was not trying to sell anything at all, and yet they still say, 不要再用这个方法来赚钱, okay? Which means don't use this method to make money. If you paid attention to what I said yesterday, I said that I have no intention of monetizing this. In fact, everything that I am providing is absolutely free. You go to my website, you go to simonleon.com, right, which you see at the bottom corner of your screen. Everything that I've offered, whether it's coaching, whether it's mentorship, whether it's consultation, whether it's service, whether it's my mastermind group, everything has been converted to free. Okay. So if you somehow know a special way that I can monetize with free, then you can be my sifu. Okay. You can teach me that because I would very much like to know. End of the day, right? Apparently, this person who is writing to me in Chinese did not understand a word of what I was saying. So all I can say is, 如果你的英文不好，请你好好学习. Okay? Please learn English before you try and talk smack about me on things that I never said, right? Learn the language, because not only is this the case for this person, the person who defamed me, everything that this person continued to say, right, were things that I never said, things that I never did, things that I never communicated with, okay? So again, if English or whatever language that you are communicating in is not your forte, okay, do not go out there and try to blame others, try to say things, and try to accuse people of things that were never true in the first place. That's the problem with society today, right? And this goes, of course, it's not about me. It's not about defamation. It's not about breaking the law. It's about you as a live streamer, as an educator, as a person of eventual influence, right? All influencers, you're going to be subject to trolls, subject to hate, subject to people who accuse you of things that you never said or did, right? And so I want to blatantly share this with you, let you know that on my very first live, it actually happened to me, that it can very well happen to any one of you as well, okay? So there's two kinds of trolls. One, this is the kind of person that is intentionally trying to do you harm, intentionally trying to, hopefully, other people will see you. Other people will see their comments, and other people will start to feel the same way about you, right? Try and ruin your reputation. Number one, I don't know if you're aware, these types of strategies, no matter how unethical, okay? Let's just throw integrity out the window for just a moment, because let's face it, not everybody has integrity. Not everybody is able to sleep at night, right? Throw that out of the window for now. It's illegal, right? It's called defamation. If you even Google defamation cases, defamation lawsuits, defamation courts, right? You will see so many where it's as simple as unauthentically calling somebody a liar, calling somebody a scammer, calling somebody, something that they're not. So you be very careful on what you say, because just like the many other cases that I've seen for people who are unlawfully saying bad things about me, I mean, I handle it as well as I can, right? I go to the courts, I go to lawyers, but if I don't need to, I don't go that extra step. That's because despite what other people say to me or do to me, I still have my own ethics, right? My own morals. I don't want to actually ruin somebody's life. I don't actually want to say bad things about people. That's just who I am. I can't speak for other people who obviously try and do bad things about me, but at the same time, I will not scoop myself down to that level. And so if you want to learn more about previous cases, actually, it's a very good learning lesson. If you want to do that, I will type this in for you right now, because what you will be able to learn over this is that there will be people, again, who will try and say bad things about you. And the reason why I bring this up is very interesting because of two things. I don't know if it's because Facebook somehow knows that this is what I'm doing, or if somehow we're all being spied on social media or whatnot. But more so recently, in the last 12 hours since I started planning to talk about this, I start to see more things on my Facebook newsfeed on something like this. This is one that just showed up, okay? Don't know if you can see that correctly. It says, don't be so quick to believe what you hear because lies spread faster than truth. which is absolutely true. The ironic thing is the person who posted this, I think that they happen to be in that group of people who believed the lies about me. Okay. Now, in regards to this defamation case, I actually stayed silent. I stayed absolutely silent while this person belittled me for years. Okay. Because to me, I actually do not care what other people think about me. I do not care what people say about me. Okay. But when this person crossed the line and included my family, okay, that was when I struck back. So if you want to learn more about exactly what happened, exactly what they did to the point where they finally did cross the line for me to come out, right, and actually have to say something about it, go to simonleon.com/defamation case, as well as simonleon.com/defamation to learn more. I'm not going to get into too much additional into depth into this because I don't want this to get out of hand. Okay. Going back into some of these additional, wow, we have so many new comments that are coming in. I obviously cannot focus on every single one of these, but thank you very much. I'm just gonna highlight a few of them. Okay. Steven says, hashtag attitude smiling face. Thank you very much. And then Lian says, agree. They actually need psychological help to Tudo Marketing says, you the best. Thank you very much. Sarah is clapping. Janice says, you are right about jealousy and trolls. Some do it for the attention, some do it out of boredom, and some for personal amusement, right? I absolutely concur, especially to all three. They're bored. They have nothing better to do. As we like to say in Chinese, right? In Cantonese, right? They, after dinner, after they eat, they have nothing to do. So they're just going to go ahead and try and make other people miserable as much as they can to make them feel better about themselves or whatnot, right? Jessica is saying, I agree. We don't need to stoop down to our haters' level, to always be respectful and solve problems maturely. Absolutely. Thank you for agreeing. Jocelyn, we still need to catch up. She says, hi, Sifu. Hello. Jared says, hello, Simon. Good to see you here on, buddy, because we just connected over Facebook with a few chats. Good to see you on here. Jessica says, everything Simon's offering is free. Obviously not the best business decision, but for the time being, for the foreseeable future, at least through this year, yes, I have absolutely nothing to sell you. Okay, so for those of you, case in point, the person who was messaging me yesterday saying, find other ways to make money. This is not the best way for you to build a business, blah, blah, blah. Learn English. Okay, because I said nothing of the sort. I am not even trying to sell anything. Jenna says, looks like she doesn't understand English. Absolutely right. Adam says, haters gonna hate. Just keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Jessica says, defamation, slander, and libel are all illegal. You know this. I know this. Anybody who has half a brain know this, but some people absolutely don't. Jenna says, best to ignore them. Don't feed them with comments. Like I said, I ignored mine for over 2 years. Until they crossed the line and basically involved my family. So at which point there was absolutely nothing that I can do about it except to actually have to speak up because it was just getting worse and worse, getting out of hand. And so at some point or another, you need to realize that it is time for you to stand up for yourself or for your family or both. And at that point in time, it was definitely the right time for me. Continuing on. Okay, like I was saying, there are two kinds of people. Number one, the kind who intentionally try and cause you harm, right? These kinds of people who are saying bad things about you, creating websites about you, creating videos, okay, and using a legally recorded voice that you once used in a variety of different scenarios and edited them together, just like what that defamer actually did to me, right? And as a result, you know, this particular note came in at a really interesting time, right? Don't be so quick to believe everything that you hear because it's really funny because during those 2 years that I didn't say anything, a lot of people whom I thought would know better, right? Just because I was silent, they decided to believe the other side, okay? including probably this person who sent this post, right? Who posted this on their own Facebook earlier today. So again, nothing against you or nothing against the person who posted it. It's just you. You are free to believe whomever you want, right? But if you're smart enough to know that you cannot just believe any old other story that people share, then you should also know that it applies in every single situation. A lot of my friends, in fact, people whom might be what you would consider in the guru space, people who I consider to be my friends, who are my business partners, whom I've known for over 10 years, right? Somehow got affected, somehow got impacted just by watching one or two of the fake videos, just by listening to this guy say some bad things about me, just listening to that story somehow without asking about me or my side of the story, they immediately believe that person, right? And so whatever, that tells you who your real friends are. It also tells you the IQ of some of the people that you thought would know better, but obviously that's a whole different story regardless. Okay. Another thing that I saw on Facebook was something that actually was really interesting. It was a post in one of the groups, and I saw it because Asher actually responded to it. And it was something along the lines of somebody saying, oh, I've just been scammed an X amount of money. And what I plan to do is make a list of all these people who scammed me, and I'm going to name and shame them. I'm going to tell people who they are, blah, 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 and whatever else, right? Well, a lot of people, believe it or not, actually said don't do it, right? Because number one, if you are smart enough to think about it, there are legal ramifications, okay? It's not 100% legal. It's also not 100% ethical, because in many cases, just like this case of the person who may have said bad things about me, right? A lot of times you need to take responsibility for your own action or inactions. Because in my class, I am the only one that I know of in any internet marketing course, not counting, ClickBank or whatever else, where you're forced to give a 60-day money-back guarantee, right? That's just part of the policy. You have to do it. But for me, my guarantees are, if you attend my class and all of you, every single one of you in this class who prove me wrong, prove that my system doesn't work by applying everything that I teach you, but none of you are able to get any results whatsoever, I will more than double, I'll triple your money back guarantee, right? That's how confident I am about my strategies. That's how confident I am about the things that I teach. Because without fail, every single class, we always have not one, not two, but for anybody who take action inside the class, they get instantaneous results, guaranteed, okay? So I say, but even if only one person gets those results, it means that the system works. It means that all of you can do the exact same thing because you all were in the same class, right? And so all these people who complain, they actually have nothing to complain about, because the only thing that it proves is that they did not take action. Why? Because the exact same people who attended the exact same class as they did, they took action. They got results. In fact, every single class that we have, people get results inside the class instantaneously, okay? So I know time after time after time, my system works. If it doesn't work for you, it's not the system's fault, right? If GrooveFunnels doesn't work for you, it's not GrooveFunnels' fault. It's your fault, right? Just like my system. It's because you don't have the right business model. It's because you didn't apply what you learned. It's because you didn't have the right strategies, whatever it may be. Don't be a complainer. Don't be a whiner. Don't blame other people for your own inaction, right? That's what happens when you do lives. You have no idea who's going to show up, and people who do not take responsibility for their own actions or inactions are looking for people to blame, and they're going to come on and they're going to try to blame you. Whether legally or illegally, they're going to continue to do the same thing, okay? So be careful what you want to do. Be careful about your message, and be careful anytime that you do anything like this. All right. Now, again, my third time trying to transition. Okay. There will be people who are intentionally trying to harm you. And then there will be people who maybe just don't know any better. Okay. Maybe they're not trying to harm you, but they say things that are insensitive. Maybe they're not trying to ruin your reputation, but they just don't know courtesy or manners, right? Here are some examples. And this is not just the first time that I experienced something like this, right? In one of my many platforms, for example, of course, I spent an hour, right, trying to give as much value as I can to teach, to share, to spread some kind of message, right? And so there were a lot of comments that were coming in and saying, oh yeah, that's great. That's really helpful. Some questions that came in that said, oh, can I do this with that, whatever else? Very, relevant, happy to help, right? And then there's this guy who comes in out of nowhere and he says, you gained weight. Okay, number one, disrespectful, right? Number two, relevance. Number three, what's your point, right? And it's not just this guy. I find this very consistent about a lot of people in many different cultures. And I don't know if it's because I grew up in a different culture, I was raised differently or whatever, but I noticed that there would be people, even if they don't mean any harm, right? They greet you, they meet you in person, they see you online, and they don't say hi, they don't say how are you doing, they will say things like, oh, you look like you aged, right? Or you look like you're losing your hair, or you might have gray hair, you have more gray hair than before, right? You have more wrinkles, right? You're going bald, right? You're getting fat, you're getting ugly. Why do people say that? And if you're one of them who are watching right now, yeah, I'm calling you out. Why do you say that, right? Number one, it's beside the point, right? It has absolutely nothing to do with the value. Number two, I don't know. Is that just the way that you've been taught, that it's okay to say that to other people, right? Now, it's not about me. Like I said, I don't care about what people say about me. The most that I do, I ignore whatever, right? If they're a close friend and I say, ha, 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 I laugh at myself, right? Self-deprecating jokes or whatever. I don't care. If there's anyone who laughs at themselves, I'm the first one to do it, okay? But just to let you know, not everybody is the same as me. And number two, it's just common courtesy, right? Not to say things like that. I'm not gonna go around telling people, oh, hey, you look more ugly today. Hey, you're fatter than yesterday. Hey, you should put on some makeup because you look absolutely hideous. Nobody walks around saying that to people, right? So yeah, there may be people who don't intentionally try and give you a bad day, right? But there will be people who say this, and without you knowing, you just ruined somebody's day. You just made somebody really self-conscious. You made somebody really unhappy about themselves, right? It's just common courtesy, folks. Common courtesy that I feel like is common sense. But if there's anything that I learned in the defamation case, I learned that common sense isn't so common, okay? But if you are here right now and you're watching and you're one of those people who like to say, hey, you look fat, right? As your way of reading. Hey, you're losing your hair. Hey, you're getting older. Hey, you have more gray hair. Hey, you got more wrinkles. Find another way to greet people, right? Find another way to say hi, because I don't know why people say that. I don't know. Does it make you feel better about yourself? Does it give you higher self-confidence? I don't know, right? And yeah, this is a mini rant because I've seen this happen not just to me, but to other people as well. And people think that it's okay. And if you're on live, then you are going to subject yourself to a lot of judgment. You're going to subject yourself to people saying things about you that may or may not matter in the whole scheme of things, but you should be prepared, right? I don't always do my hair. In fact, if I go live tomorrow or the day after, I might not even comb my hair. I do not do makeup whatsoever, right? I don't shave every single day. So am I sitting here so that I can open up myself to ridicule, right? Is that the point of everything that I want to share? Absolutely not, right? Look beyond that. Listen to the message. See what you can learn. Know what value you can get out of it, right? Stop talking about things that are not important, right? Things that don't matter, things that only make you feel better about yourself and nobody else. And at the end, you go, you're so proud of yourself for saying bad things about other people, right? It makes absolutely no sense. Okay, so going back to some of our comments now, because I don't want this just to be like a monologue or things like that, right? If you have something to say, let me know your thoughts. Share with me any questions that you have. This is going to be as interactive as we can. Okay, Jessica says the truth shall set you free, right? Or some people might say you can't handle the truth. Sarah says just like a short video to take down Tony Robbins created massive haters, and I heard the full video and it was completely different context. Hashtag global damage was done. I think I might know which one you're talking about. I think it was the one that was he was being recorded in front of a live audience, right? He was talking to a woman. It was either about sexual equality or gender equality or racial equality. I think it might have been gender equality or something like that, right? I vaguely remember what you're talking about. It was probably several months ago, but absolutely, right? Any small kind of video content or any type of content, especially when taken out of context, especially when people edit it with the intentional will to harm you, right? They can get the job done, especially to the audience who don't know any better. Okay, so that's just the name of the game. David Kavanaugh, right? Of course, if anybody knows about this, it would be people like David Kavanaugh, because wise man once said, if people are not saying bad things about you, it means that you haven't done anything important. I'm paraphrasing, right? It means that you haven't touched the world, made an impact, or whatever else. It basically means that you cannot be everything to everybody, right? No matter your intentions of even doing things for free. It doesn't matter if you're taking time out of your day for 14 days. It was time away from my family that I could have been spending with them. But I decided that, yeah, it was something that I wanted to do, right? I wanted to give. I wanted to provide the value. But even that, you will still see people who, for no whatever reason, wow, 14 days. That's why you have so big eye bags under your eyes now. You need to go to sleep because you look like crap. You're looking older. You're aging, blah, blah, whatever else. You get people like that who completely miss the point, right? And go out of their way to insult you. Why, right? No reason. And Mr. David Kavanaugh, he says it happens with every course and every workshop. People talk a lot, people say lots of stuff, yet they blame anyone else except themselves for not making their first dollar. And in the end, and I'm not saying that it's consistent, and I'm sure David is not saying that it's consistent with every single class, because time and time again, including in my yesterday's session, right, I talked about how, yeah, there are fake gurus out there. There are people who don't know what they're talking about. There are people who are just faking it, pretending to be people whom they're not, right? For those, yeah, it's the trainer's fault for being a fake guru, for pretending that they can help somebody when in fact they can't even help themselves. But just so that you know, even the real veterans like David, who've been in this industry for even longer than I have, and I've been doing this for 15 years as a global trainer, as a speaker, as a mentor, as a coach, right? As an author, I've been doing this for this long. And David has been doing this for longer than me. So for him, he is definitely the real deal. He can get you those instantaneous results as well. He can guarantee you those results as well. He's not going to say it just for legal reasons, but time and time again, we've proven ourselves that we can do it, okay? And so even with proven systems, people who don't follow it, who don't do it because it requires work, right? Because it's not push button easy, because they cannot make money while they sleep without any effort whatsoever, right? They don't do anything. That's why it doesn't work for them. And that's why they complain about it, right? And they threaten lawsuits and they threaten legal action and all these different things. We still have people from years ago, right, who never took any action, who are still trying to ask for refunds today. When number one, it's their fault for not taking action. Number two, it's been so long that, right, they can't even legally get any type of refund anymore. But number three, we still continue to support them. We offer to help them. We offer to continue to give them guidance. They are the ones who give up. They are the ones who say, no, I would just rather have, have my money back because I don't want to do anything, right? Show me what you've done that didn't work as you claimed. They cannot show us anything that they did that we shared with them. Any strategies, nothing was applied. And yet they can blame the system. They can blame the teacher, right? They can blame the course and says that it doesn't work. Come on, folks. It's time for us to take responsibility for our actions and our inactions. Stop playing the pointing game, right? Stop being a whiner, a complainer. I've seen so many of these people, and that's why they are the ones that are going to go on your live streams and try and say bad things about you. They're going to be the ones who take things out of context and try to not only attack you, but your family as well. So again, if you want to learn more about that, you can go to my defamation stuff. And I'm not shy, right? I'm not trying to avoid any of that. In fact, the reason why I bring this up is because I also had a conversation with David Kavanaugh. And I'm just going to be honest, it might be uncomfortable to talk about, but there are other people who are within our inner circle because of that case, because of other people who said bad things about me. And I finally decided that I wanted to defend myself, right? Those people decided that, oh, maybe I shouldn't work with this person anymore. Maybe I should not have them speak at my events. Maybe we should cut ties with this person. Maybe we shouldn't be friends anymore. Maybe we should just stay away as far as possible, right? Number one, if that's your mentality, you were never a friend to begin with, right? Number two, if you don't do your own due diligence and expect that the same thing could never happen to you when somebody else can be spreading lies about you, when you have to actually defend yourself, right? And instead of being there for that person, for your friend, your supposed buddy, you decided to have your own, hide behind your own ass and say that, oh yeah, I'm just gonna protect myself and stay away from this person, whatever else. How are you gonna expect that anybody will ever have your back? How are you gonna expect that anybody will ever be there for you if that's the kind of person that you are? If you never even came to me and approached me and asked me for the real story, is this true, right? And you immediately banished me from your kingdom, right? What does that say about you? As a friend, as a person, seriously, what does it say about you, right? That's all I have to say about that, because in reality, right, so many people are like that. I've been so disappointed by many people whom I thought would know better over the last few years, but inevitably, they all continue to come out and show their true selves, okay? The Jamie Enterprise says, hi, Simon, nice to see you here. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you. Nice to see you as well. Jessica says, take responsibility for your action or inaction instead of blaming others. Nice quote. I think somebody very smart probably said something like that recently, right? Prem says, yes. Sarah says, gold nuggets. Jessica says, yes. Anything can be taken out of context and used to harm, attack, and criticize you. It's happened to me too. It's happened to the best of us. Healing Numbers says, hey, Simon. Hello, Healing Numbers. If you would be so kind as to share with me who you are instead of Healing Numbers, I would like to address you by name if possible. Okay, Jenna says, don't be, Simon. I don't remember what I was saying in terms of being or not being, but thank you. I assume that it's something positive, right? So with all of that, one thing that I noticed that StreamYard has that Restream doesn't have is it actually tells you how long you have been live. So how long have I been actually saying this? How long have I been talking? I have no idea. There's no timer here. So there's another pro and con. There's 1 point that goes to StreamYard again. But again, I don't want to keep your time. Now might be a good time for us to take some questions if you have any. Okay. Sarah says, the universe has removed who I thought were friends, but didn't know me at all. Hashtag thanks universe. I'm very grateful for that as well, because I would have thought that there were many people who were my friends as well, but all of these are life lessons. And especially when you let it all hang out, so to speak, whether it's doing these lives or whether it's a real life scenario, with different friends, right? Or so-called friends. A lot of it actually comes out very, very quickly. Okay. Where are we? Healing Number says, sorry, it's me, Raquel. Raquel, how are you doing, Raquel? Initially, she found me through YouTube, started commenting on a lot of my videos that were talking about how to become a YouTuber without showing your face, without talking, maybe even without creating your own videos. So if you're interested in things like that, you can see my YouTube channel right here. Oh, I can actually, oh, this is weird. There you go. My YouTube channel right there. Okay, so you can check that out, see where you can get value, learn about things that you may want to learn about, including becoming a YouTuber. Harris Feldman, funny bald guy, right? Is it funnybaldguy.com? This guy is so funny. I've known Harris Feldman for so long. I think for 12, 13, 14 years now. We've traveled the world together. We've had many nice times, and we went to seminars. We've partnered together on many different things. He now lives in Spain, in Barcelona, and he said that someone say solo. If you're interested in solo ads or anything, Harris Feldman is the man. I was talking to somebody earlier, and your name came up, Mr. Harris. So I think definitely I will be hitting you up as well very soon on the solo ads campaign that we recently talked about. Janet says, don't be disappointed. You don't lose these so-called friends. You just learn who are your real friends. And of course, you can never have too many friends, especially ones that are real. And I'm grateful for every single one of you who are here, who continue to show your support. Sarah says 1 hour-ish. Jessica says it's been about 63 minutes. Again, time really flies when you are having fun, right? I didn't intend this to be more than 10, 15 minutes, but when you're interacting, you're like hanging out and things like that, and you're chatting with me, I think it makes it a much better time for all of us. So I appreciate you being here. Raquel, Healing Number says, that's right. I'm glad my memory served me correctly. Harris Feldman, funnybaldguy.me. Very funny. He says he can afford the .com. Yeah, right. Mr. Harris Feldman is now also a magician. On multiple occasions in the last few weeks, I've seen him in action. Very funny, bald guy indeed. You will definitely have laughs. You will definitely have a good time. I highly encourage that you hit him up and book a show if you can, because it's absolutely a huge and wonderful experience. Okay, so with all of that then, right, I'll give you a few more minutes in case you have any additional questions or any last things that you want to say. But in terms of everything that I have to share right now, I think that's pretty much it. I want these sessions to be a bit snappy, but as you can tell, if we interact, if we answer questions, if we start to make this a conversation, it does become a little bit longer. So I do want to make sure that for those of you who do stick around, you're getting value, you're getting some of your questions answered. The theme of today is lessons that I learned while going live, not only yesterday, but also for 14 days straight as well. I'm sure that as time goes on, there will be some additional ways for me to spread even more value to you. There will be additional lessons that I learn as well through the power of live streaming. That goes beyond just technology and people saying bad things about you and defamation and all that stuff. Again, there's just so many different things that we can get into when it comes to the minor nitty-gritty details. So I appreciate all of you for sticking in there, sticking around with me, and also having the opportunity for me to connect with you. Because I'll tell you, after the 14 days of Groovathon, for the first few days, we definitely had this Groovathon live streaming withdrawal. I want to make sure that all of you are okay. Then some of you, I started to see messages. Oh, I'm so missing the groove at night, and I wish that the Groovathon is going on forever. Blah blah blah, whatever else. And so I think that now is a huge opportunity for us to, at any given time, again, just hang out. If nothing else, say hi, give you a quick update on what's going on, and again, if you want to be on and you want to share the experience with your people as well, we can always do a show. I was testing this with Mr. Jerry Chen earlier today, and it turns out that we can have up to 10 guests, right? I don't recommend that we have actually 10 guests using this platform because it's going to start having slowdowns and lags and things like that. But 1, 2, 3, having 4 people or Brady Bunch style probably wouldn't be so bad. Okay, so we can always give it a shot. Let me know if you want to be on the show, if you want to share different things, because everything is a learning experience. Okay, we have a few more people who are coming in to say hi. Andy, he used to work for me in my events company. Obviously, since March we had no events going on, so unfortunately we had to find other opportunities. But there is so much opportunity, and Andy and we actually got to discussing, I think a few months ago, right? Different things that we can potentially be incorporating and doing together. And if you still need things, if you still want to chat about opportunities, Andy, definitely do that. We had the opportunity to work together for just a few short weeks, but during that time, it was fun. You know, I enjoyed working with you, and hopefully you're interested in all the same. He says, hi, Simon, long time no see. Thanks for teaching me so much. Your strategy really helps me for surviving during Malaysia. MCO period. MCO, for those of you who don't know, stands for Movement Control Order, which basically means our lockdown period when everybody cannot go out. He says the journey is not easy, but with your guide, it really work. It's really worth it. I'm assuming. Thanks again. You are very welcome, Mr. Andy. I hope to get reconnected with you again soon. Harris says, I've started to do some FB lives. The time delay from chat to stream here is brutal. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's why I don't say things like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Press 1, right? Press 1 or type in 1 or whatever, right? Because I'm going to have to continue talking for at least another 20 or 30 seconds before I see those ones coming in. And it would be so completely awkward to just sit here in silence and wait for 30 seconds while nothing is happening. Okay, so yes, I know exactly what you're talking about in regards to the time delay. Sarah says, thanks, Simon, 1 a.m. here and worth it. Wow, you are a trooper. Seriously, now this is the new groove at night, right? Because it's nighttime for us. Janice says, thanks, Simon. Good to connect here with you outside of the Groovathon. Absolutely. If you have other friends within the Groove network, within the Groove community, definitely invite them to watch our sessions as well. It would be fun to have a mini reunion the next time that we are on live. Jessica says, thank you for lessons that I learned by going live. Valuable lessons that you are sharing with us. Thank you very much, Jessica. And I also understand that you are planning your own live. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I want to keep you accountable, right? You want me to be your accountability partner? Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, for Jessica's, I'm not going to reveal the actual number unless you want to, but for her birthday, and you can share with us when your birthday is, she wants to do her very first live. She has never even recorded herself. She has never created a video. She has never thought of herself as somebody who can be live in front of a camera, in front of an audience, but after the inspiration from me, so she says, after the inspiration from many of her other mentor figures, as well as those whom she learned from over the 14-day Groovathon, which you can learn more about over here, okay? She was inspired to do her own thing. She was inspired to push through her own comfort zone, and she wants to, for her birthday, go live for the very first time. Yesterday, she told me she wasn't intending to tell anybody, right? And before she knew it, she decided to tell me, and then some of her other mentors encouraged her to do it. And now she says, I want you to be my accountability partner. So here we are. I am now your accountability partner. And she revealed it herself. Her 50th birthday coming on the 27th of October, which is in 2 days' time. We are going to all wish Jessica a very happy birthday live on her very own show, okay? Because not only me, but we are all going to be her accountability partners. Okay, so let's give her some encouragement. Let's tell her that she can do it, and let's all plan to, Jessica, let us know if you're going to go live on one of your pages on YouTube, on your profile. What is the URL that we can go to make sure that we can support you when that happens? Because as a community, groove or not, right? My own community or not, we are going to help each other, right? Not what some other people say, right? Find other ways to make money, and you should not be scamming people, blah, 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 whatever else. Again, learn English, please 学好你的英文, because I am not selling anything. I am providing everything for absolutely free. And so many people who are unlike you, who have a positive mindset, who are taking action, they are getting unreal, tremendous value. Okay, so I encourage even you, if you're willing to change your mind and get a good mindset going, I encourage you to actually change your life, change the way that you think, and become better. Okay. Harris says, Jessica, is like, if this guy can do it, so can I. Ha, ha, ha. I don't know if you're one of those trolls, Mr. Harris, that I was just talking about, but it sure sounds like it. Just kidding, of course. I know Mr. Harris is also joking, and in his own funny, bold guy kind of way, he is encouraging not only Jessica, but every single one of us that we can all do what I do. I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like every single one of you. I also wake up and I need, breakfast or lunch, and we need to eat, we need to breathe. Everything that I do, you can do. Everything that you do, I can do, right? There is no limitation as long as you put your mind to it. Anything can be possible. Sarah says, best tip for your first video, have fun. It can be anything about anything. Enjoy, just like these sessions, right? They're literally about anything or nothing at the same time. Janice says, what a good birthday idea. I absolutely agree. Jessica says she's already told Asher, who, by the way, I don't think he is on right now. Otherwise, he would have said hi. But he's also having his own class. So reach out to him if you're interested in attending for free, right? Because we're all doing free things these days. It's the new normal, at least for the remainder of the year. Jenna says, you can do this, Jessica. Jessica says, I am very scared, but feel the fear and do it anyway. Yes, absolutely. Do that. Go, Jessica. Harris says, I'm seeing you on FB. Where else are you streaming right now? If you're asking me, I am on Facebook. I am, he says, I see comments from not FB. I'm also streaming from Twitch. I'm also streaming from YouTube. I'm streaming actually on a few different locations on Facebook, my two personal profiles. One is my Facebook page with my name on it, which you can see right here. That's my Facebook page. And then also on my company page, which is my internet events one. So I think it's a few different ones. And I will still continue to add more. As I don't know if you kind of missed out in the beginning of this session. I want to also stream on LinkedIn, but you need to apply to do live streaming there. I also want to live stream onto Instagram. Unfortunately, it is not a native built-in thing. You need to do some RTMP stuff and work with some API keys or codes and URLs and things like that, which I have yet still to figure out. So in case you're not aware, I am brand new to all this multi-streaming thing. I'm learning just like you. And the purpose of today is to make sure that I share with you some of the things that I learned that will hopefully help you in your journey as well. Restream. .io is the tool that I'm using right now. Apparently, they are congratulating me. I've received 100 messages today with this chat. So thank you very much, Restream. If you're interested in checking out this particular tool, you can go ahead and do that. Type this into your browser. Don't just click on it from Facebook or YouTube or wherever you might see this. Type this in, simonleon.com/Restream. Try Restream for free. And when you go through my link over here, you will also get $10 credits for absolutely free, just for signing up for your free account. Okay, Harris says, gotta go, my friend. Daughter wants help with homework. Definitely. Family first. Say hi to your family for me, your wonderful wife and your kids. We used to hang out when they were like this tiny, this small, and now they're like so big. Crazy. This was over 10 years ago. So many things that we need to continue to learn along the way. And being great parents is definitely one of them. Jessica, I have never even posted a video of myself before ever. Everything happens for a reason. There's the first time for everything. And in 2 days' time, October 27th is going to be that first time. So remember to keep us posted. Okay, keep us posted because we want to make sure that we support you every single step of the way. Ming Liang says hi. She is actually on the other side of this wall. In case you don't know who she is, connect with her. She's very smart. She will be able to teach you a lot of things. In fact, for things that I don't know how to do or things that I don't want to do, classes, live streams. She actually was doing live streams longer than I was because for our groups where she wanted to give our students a higher level of support, she decided that she wanted to give them some live streams and live sessions and things like that. When even I said I don't want to do those live streams, right? She took them over, and in just a couple of weeks' time, actually no, not a couple of weeks. What I'm talking about, in 2 days' time, or maybe it's 3, she's going to do her class in Chinese. Okay, so if you're interested in learning more about that, you can definitely hit her up and let her know that you're interested in learning from her. Okay, Instagram doesn't want you to stream from non-phone. Interesting enough, because Instagram also didn't want you to use anything that is non-phone, right? Because they don't want you to post anything on your browser. Everything has to be through your phone or whatever else. So whatever la. Okay, so we're just gonna figure it out along the way. But apparently there is a way to get around that, according to some of the different instruction manuals that I've seen. David is saying hi to Ming Liang, and Ming Liang is saying hi to Dave. So, okay, you guys can just say hi to each other. Forget about me. Forget about everyone here. Okay, so we're just gonna say hi to one another. All right, great. So with all of that, Jessica says she will keep us posted. We're all interested in learning how to stream and restream. We're all learning how we can continue to improve not only ourselves, but the opportunity to help other people as well. And with that, I believe on this Sunday night at 10 plus p.m. for me, the rest of it will be family time. Okay, so thank you so much for all of you who have joined me for the past 1 hour plus. Thanks for all of you who have provided me support for the last 2 days. We hope to have more content for you. We're going to be going live a lot more often, and maybe even in different languages, and doing a lot of many different crazy stuff. But the most important thing is that we want to provide you value, whether it means education, whether it means entertainment, whether it means training, or just hanging out, reconnecting, and saying hi to one another, right? I basically think that this is an opportunity for all of us to reconnect and see how else we can provide value. So with all of that, thank you so much for your time today. Let me know what else you would like to see in future live streams. If you have any preferred times, what time zones you might be in, keep those comments coming. Let us know. In due time, I will read every single one of them. And I definitely hope that you will join us the next time that we go live as well. All right, so until then, whenever then might be, we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much. Have a good night, or a good day, or a good afternoon, or a good evening, wherever